I get it till we get.
Well, recording is in progress. This is Saturday, September 27th, 2025, and this is Conversations with Andrew Waves Jr. and my co-host, Remus Muhammad, and we'll be digging in on Awesome Intelligence Team, LEV AI Network. And so without further ado, I do want to invite you all to reach out to Remus on Instagram at Excellence Management. Remus at Excellence Management on Instagram, or me on Instagram, Ambassador AWJ, or Andrew at AndrewNetworks.com. But without further ado, let us do the do.
Great stuff, man. It's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be on here sharing with you guys. And I got some great news. Awesome intelligence, because it's an awesome energy moving us. Guess who's going to be speaking tonight on the as the featured speaker tonight on the LEV AI presentation? Yes.
Randy already told us.
Oh, did he? What do you mean? He put it in the WhatsApp? Huh?
In the chat. He let us all know. He did a 45-second video to let us know that you'll be doing the do.
Okay, that was what that WhatsApp video was. I didn't look at.
Yes.
Well, dang, man, he messed up my whole little thing.
Well, nobody else knows but you and me and him.
Well, and everybody on here now.
and 40,000 other people.
I mean, compared to 8 billion, that's nothing. That's, that's a big market we have. So I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a 12:30. You might call it a prep training today. And I was saying that I'm sharing this step by step with you, like Andrew is, this whole thing, because people are looking at us. They're following us. We stepped out there and said, okay, hey, Randy, hey, Blake, hey, Terry LaCour, see you doing something. Hey, let me jump on and go for the ride. So, and all some other folks might want to go for this ride too. So I'm excited, to say the least. But more so, the responsibility is heavy on me. Not heavy in a like, oh my God way, but heavy in a like, I'm doing a graduation speech again at my university, and everybody's mama and daddy's coming out. And what I say, everybody's listening to for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so, and so, and it'll be documented, recorded, and I love it. I mean, I love it because, again, I guarantee you, I'm gonna do what I do in here, with a different understanding, different focus, but it's gonna be speaking from the heart about what I see and what this awesome intelligence is, and what we're able to do leveraging this AI, and moved out on it, and we're still early. Um, you know, they starting to know me as the website guy. Randy asked me today, he said, can you send me over the most developed website that you've done? 'Cause I hit him this morning and said, I did 2 more yesterday. Just a little side note, just, because success comes by practicing and doing over and over. And I know I'm gonna do some more today. You know what I started doing? I started asking people, that dream. I got a lady on my team. Um, she's a lawyer, and didn't really have a website. I know another person that has a boutique. I went and looked at their website, and it was something that the Shopify put together for them, and it made what I able to do look like a Rolls Royce compared to what she had. But prior to that, I had, hey, if you got something, cool. Your Model T Ford is good. If you ain't got no other car, or 1986 Honda, hey, that'll get you across this country. You know what I'm saying? But to know that there are other systems being brought together, and so to just drop that on somebody, an autism business, Sweet Garden, I created. It's nice about, whether you're in the inner city or you're out there in the countryside, better practices farming, what you can do to start a garden, whatever. That's that site. What else? Oh, Never Settle, t-shirts, hats, whatever. Another site, another site. I said autism already. Awesome autism, person that's dedicated to that whole world. These exist now. Now, so I could spend all day today just learning how to make that website even better, you know, and connect it with a landing page and connect it with a funnel. That's all in the back office. Man, I got the rest of life going on too at the same time. I mean, and as of now, it's not an immediate pay, but I see something. I feel something. I recognize, man, the ability for everybody to do that, how they want to do it. It's huge, guys. So, and all the other functionalities, that's just one little piece. And then you mix in now, every time I send a social post out, when I hit my instant post in the morning, and or throughout the day, just create post after post after post. I can't tell you how many posts I've created, but I can embed it with the website about Sweet Nest, and I can embed it with I can put my logo. Andrew and I were dealing with some people in the past. He turned me on to a young lady who she developed a logo for me. I got to go dig that up out of my email somewhere, whichever email I did that through. But now I have somewhere to put it. It's doing that, and all these little individual things trying to piece it together. And here comes LEV AI says, I've already done that for you. In one sense, it's like, wait a minute, all this time was wasted. In another sense, it's like, thank you, Lord. I don't have to think about doing that stuff no more. Somebody's put that together and I can just come in and do it. So you guys, it's fired up and excited. I'm just already getting my mind at about 12:30. I'm gonna be going through this training on how to present. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure to honor the bullet points that we hear everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a combination of I'm doing my own thing, but I'm a part of something much bigger. I love that,
Well,
truthfully. So,
actually, I've done my part in inviting you into something bigger as well. Just to let you know.
hey,
As you know, my back office has grown up to 50 people now, and one of those is Ambassador Young Piero from from Nigeria. However,
mm-hmm.
Nigeria is not on one of the countries that we have scheduled for launch. However, he
Okay.
does have a business in Mauritius, which does go live on Monday. So what I've begun
Yes.
doing is sharing with the entire African continent the fact that Levy is coming, and because Levy automatically issued him a referral number, I'm including his referral number on all the promotions dealing with Africa. But because this is awesome AI, awesome, you're there too. So whether you want it to be or not, you are now global. Congratulations.
Again, thank you, man. And see, for those of us that aren't scared of that, many people are. They don't want eyes on them. They're scared. It's just not for them at this time. But there's many people, millions, probably billions that, are in a category like they want their story to be told this morning. A lot of richness in those lyrics, man. But I brought that up because those that dream big, this is that time for them. Those that have been on this page, like the people you deal with, Andrew, and having the audacity to keep believing that it's going to work out. It's going to come together. To keep on, many others. It's like the trend out there in too many circles where the negativity, the drama, oh my God, it's all bad. Like there's some value in highlighting what's not working. Like, okay, nope, everybody sees that. Everybody knows that. Where are the leaders that are coming together? And we know they're over here in LEV AI, but where are the leaders? And you know a lot of them, Andrew, even at the United Nations, when a lot of them were walking out yesterday, when Netanyahu was speaking. When you understand what time we're living in, the killing and destruction and the negativity and the minus and the subtraction and the division, that's one side of mathematics. But it's also mathematics addition, multiplication, exponential growth. That's another side of mathematics. It's not just, it's a matter of where's your energy. And when you know people that have created that music from the 70s and the 60s in the African American experience, that's all I can really speak to. I can sympathize and empathize and try to imagine what it's like to live in other countries, but I'm just talking about that African American, I call it that earth, wind, and fire spirit, Andrew. I call it that. I was talking to somebody earlier today. We listening to just sending songs back and forth, Frankie Beverly and Mays and Curtis Mayfield. And for those that know, we was just in that vibe. And I'm telling you that right there. When you talk about the Olympics and you talk about the United Nations, it's a universal language of I love my children. I love my spouse. I want my family to grow. I don't care what tribe, what culture, what in Europe, where you are. That's a universal concept. I want my family to be stronger and better. And it's really not driven at the core on the righteous side of at the detriment of anybody else. That's not at the core of the thought. There are those that say, I want all that for my family, but that means I'm gonna destroy you in order to get that. That's what's dying off, as I see it. That's why this awesome intelligence can swallow up all. I think about Moses. When Moses casted, well, the enchanters casted all that they cast and all this negativity and all of whatever, whatever, whatever. And Moses came along with his rod and it just swallowed up all of that. His awesome intelligence that he knew somebody, knew something that was like, damn, it, and he wasn't in the majority, but he had some superior understanding. He had a superior heart to me. This is my rendition. He had a superior methodology that could handle all of that. And then the world could just keep on spinning. So that's what I see when it comes to this AI. So all the connectivity and positivity that obviously I look at it like this. Colonizers recognized a lot of these indigenous people had a whole lot going on and wanted to take all of it for themselves. That's the crazy part. And that's the part where people are like, oh, hell to the no. Thank God they got security now. Thank God they got security cameras. Thank God you can go live on Instagram or whatever. Thank God that there's people that are connected to other people in every country. Somebody gonna report back to wherever home is like, hey, they doing some crazy stuff over there. That's not cool. Even if it's on TV or not, the word is gonna travel. So therefore, doing what's right from the beginning because it's just right. That's the program that doesn't have to reproduce itself. It doesn't have to go back and alter and change. And okay, it doesn't have to ever stop. It just keeps building. And that's where, to me, well, you study War No More at some point. At some point, it's already been prophesied. I didn't write the words, but there's an idea coming where you're not trying to be the best destroyer. You can, and there's some that are made to do that. I'm not trying to be the master of that. I'm trying to say, hold up, we got to rebuild. As I look over here, if you can see behind me, if you can see what I see, you can't see it because it's on the camera. There's a whole community that probably goes, I don't know, 2 miles that way. It used to just be a big old field, but that's intention. All those plumbing pipes, all those underground cement pipes, and the somebody put that on paper. If I go to the city hall where I live, that is a mapped out plan that they're walking into existence in a physical way. That could be Africa, that could be Philippines, that could be anywhere on this planet, Europe, but it's here. But what I'm saying is, if that's possible on that level, don't tell me we don't know what works as human beings to create peace and joy and family and music and culture and keep living every day here. And but not killing another person's child and this and that. So that's exciting for me, man. And so without this technology though, see, we're building the vision we talked about yesterday, Andrew, this company with the core, that brilliant presentation you did where it broke down what LaCour is about, and I think you put some stuff in there or not, I don't know, but that was brilliant. And the vision they have, the mission statement and the vision. What do our people die for the lack of what? The lack of money? That's not what it
Knowledge.
says. Knowledge,
Right.
wisdom, vision. Where the people have no vision, they perish. A lot of our people don't have their own vision. They're trying to embrace somebody else's vision. And a lot of the youth, and a lot of these sisters, I got to give them credit, they have a vision that's like, hold up. So, brothers too, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, now this vision, we're talking into reality, something that we've already been talking, many of us, but we just really didn't have a leverage, awesome intelligence to make it happen. And so therefore we had to get loans or we had to get a grant but our little $100 each unified in the same direction every single month, That's the blueprint. It's there. Everybody can eat off of it. You get your 1% off of all them people. You get your 4%. Some of you getting 20%. You get half of what they brought to the table from the very beginning. Everybody you bring, and now you can sustain it. You talk about sustainable economics, sustainable development. What program can compensate when you put in 100? How does that get carved up? Who gets what? I think it's the most equitable thing on the planet where you can get 20% of somebody you brought to the table. And the other 80% can go to the administration, or it can filter into, and ultimately probably 50% of it is probably paid out eventually. If you analyze that comp plan all the way. But the other 50%, thank you, Terry. Take that 50% of that of $100. Do what you need to do to keep this company going. A lot of infrastructure, paying people. You got to have an administrative staff. That's a part of it. Oh, they actually make. Yeah, you better hope your company's making money, or they're not gonna be around. But how beautiful it is that they share with you as much of the. You can get as many people to the table as you want, and you get a piece of every one of them. I can't think of a more equitable way to operate. It's always been my experience with if you don't bring anybody to the table, you get nothing. If you bring people to the table and they contribute and they bring other people to the table and they contribute and they bring other people and those people bring other people and all that remembers that you started that, say less. Go ahead, Andrew.
One of the important things that I did not include yesterday was introducing Randy Schrader, because we did introduce Terry LaCour and his work with LEV, and of course Blake Schrader is stepping
Yeah,
in.
you can't get to Blake without a Randy. Ain't that right? Where did Blake come from? Yeah. Go ahead.
It was only because of Blake being raised in a household that Randy headed up that I feel so comfortable in the transparency of what we're doing. Because what Randy said was that he's in his 40 years of experience, he's never worked for a network marketing company that was able to deliver the income that's coming in primarily to the people that are bringing it in. And because this is an intangible product, this is replicable endlessly. So there will never be a demand for another manufacturing plant to be able to push out more products, so we can be able to have less of a cost in our sales in order to keep the compensation plan. So to me, this is an intergenerational wealth creation project, Remus Muhammad. That's what it is to me.
And it's rooted in that. You know, even in the African community, right? We talk about kings and queens and Wakanda. And in the European community, they definitely talk about kings and queens. They got that from somewhere, right? That we know they went to Kemet and Ma'at and all these things they learned, right? The Greeks. So it's 100% natural that you have an empire mindset, right? Took a lot of traction with Taraji P and Empire. And oh yeah, but it was an empire like around drugs and drinking, and that's not the empires we talking about. So it's like you said, it's the most natural thing. Ask the lions, the giraffes, the you name it, to look out for your family. That's a part of being a species, a live entity. And so, in that sense, one that creates an artificial intelligence that wants to live too. But what I'm telling you is, we have the ability to bring all the best minds, all the best of any field you can think of, and incorporate it into as we move forward, which also we can build into it an inoculation against that which would destroy it. We can
So
build
let
that in from day one. And we can go ahead.
well let me ask you how October
Go ahead.
16th. Let me ask you how October 16th and this anniversary, what that has to do with the vision that we're bringing to the table.
All right, let's go. That was, and you don't think that didn't cross my mind when Randy texted me this morning. I'm gonna be announcing we're gonna launch Awesome Intelligence on October 16th. I wouldn't be surprised now if LaCour is at that Zoom, and because they're gonna catch the vision too. Trust me, because nothing has touched this planet like that Million Man March. What are you saying, Remus? The minister after. I'm gonna come back to your point, but the Million Man March. when people, I'll say it like this, when people atone and become better, they can then go ask a higher power to become better. But we got to become better first. That whole thing of the Million Man March was to say, hold up, we here. It's called a million. If the minister said if he had to do it again, he probably would have called it 2 million or 3 million man march. But at the time it jumped out his mouth, it was like, whoa, damn, I said that, huh? We got to make that happen now. That's the power of magic of thinking big. The 10 million man march. Okay, so everybody bring 10 people. So, but the point is, the Million Man March, when the minister went around the world, and we talked about this early on years ago, Andrew, Corin Smith, and I think his name is Smith, but Corin. Yep. And the effect that the Million Man March reverberated like a pebble out of D.C. on the steps of the White House, where they sold slaves. And that reverberated through BET and this and that, all over the world.
I also mentioned that where they sold slaves, but where the slaves built the White House. Let's start there.
They built that White House
and
they
designed
set that
the White
up.
House.
The Masons and all that wisdom.
Benjamin Banneker, all that stuff.
All of that many, many, many people know about. Not one or two, and you know a lot of them yourself, but there's many others that know this, black, white, or whatever, but they know it. That's why, well, Columbus discovered this place. Them lies is over with, man. Nobody's teaching that anymore. That algorithm is dead. Yeah, there's people that are nervous and scared. Well, you're changing everything. You damn right we changing everything. We as a planet, you right. Them lies is up. Well, George Washington never told a lie. Well, he had slaves. What are you talking about? He had the biggest name amongst African Americans to this day is Washington. What? Washington. Where did we get that? Why you got all these Washingtons running around? You don't think about white folks when you hear the name Washington. Why? That was from George and them. But my point I'm saying is, it's time now for the best to rise, the cream to rise to the top and be leading. When the best of us leads the rest of us, we haven't seen that just yet in our lifetime. So that's what we're talking about. That's why this awesome intelligence. That's why, see, I know what's moving Randy. Been around some network marketers. There's some phenomenal people. You know what's moving him? Think and Grow Rich. You know what's moving him? How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know what's moving him? Zig Ziglar. You know what's moving him? That Bible. You know what's moving him? Jim Rohn. You know what's moving him? Is you come to a point where you realize if you really want to win, you got to help other folks win.
And Brian Tracy, like that.
Brian Tracy, come on. The list is long. Reverend Michael Beckwith. I mean, oh my God, Agape. What? The Secret comes to mind. If you were doing network marketing in the last 20 years in America, you know about The Secret with Michael Beckwith and Barbara, what's her name? Robin Burns, I think her name is. See, you've been around that kind of mind. You've been around Robert Kiyosaki's Think and Grow Rich. You different. You're not over here, well, if they hire me.
Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant. You know, you remember when that came out if you were doing Amway back in the day. You remember when everybody on your team was reading that book of the month. Everybody. And so and Who Moved My Cheese? See, that was part of your diet every day. You was moving out talking to your neighbors like, hey, man, why the job fired you or they're not paying you enough or you can only get 2 weeks of vacation. Come over here, man. You can create your own ticket. Like, go for self, cut the middleman out. You can just get the product, deliver it, and get paid. And so Randy's from that, but he never had AI. Oh, man. You know the systems that people put in place and they've been trying to put in place and how to keep up with your list and how to contact everybody. You know how many hours and hours and hours and hours and weeks and months and years people have been trying to teach their team how to do what we can do now like that? And you can touch the planet. There's nobody that's been able to do that up to this point. Nobody. I don't have 1 million people, but I could get someone on my team that has 1 million people, 5 million people on their team, 50 million people on their team. They hit one button and bam, everybody knows it. What? The Super Bowl. Man, what? Everybody's tuned in. And so when the right folks get this, you can't stop it. If you wanted to, You can get in front of it, but it'll run you over. So why not, like you said, Andrew, the tidal wave is coming. It's either going to destroy everything you know, or you're going to get your surfboard out and you're going to ride that wave right on into the coastline. And then you jump off and go on about your business. That's what we are, humans. Awesome intelligence. We're here to survive. We're here to get swallowed up by what somebody else created. You somebody too. Greater is that one in you. We haven't, somebody's, I'm teaching to some people, but other people already know this. I'm preaching, I should say, to some people, but everybody, others need to hear this wake-up call. But the masses, it's not gonna take long. They're like, Remus, you ain't saying nothing new. But what is new is the website. What is new is you can literally create in an hour. If I knew everything that I could do and all the functionality, when all the functionality gets where it needs to be, I promise you in 1 hour, I can do more than I've ever done in my life in 1 hour. I promise, and other people too, I'll go so far as to say they can do more in 30 minutes. Those that know and understand the power of AI, and they don't even necessarily coin it as awesome intelligence yet, but just the power of AI. They know this thing right here, that's what everybody's developing their programs for in AI. That's what everybody's developing. Come over here. They're teaching it, but they don't have a comprehensive package that's called
Affordable
leveraging AI, that you can hit a
and
button, $100, and you get all this. Go ahead.
an affordable package, because the other thing too is that in this package that people will get, and as I heard them say today, everyone will be getting their own AI twin, whether you're coming in at the $50 month level or the $100 month level within 10 days. But in the meantime, as I expressed to you yesterday, there are multilingual tools that allow you to reach a wider audience than ever before. Now, here in Los Angeles, I was here in 1992 when NAFTA came in and the borders opened up between Mexico and Los Angeles. And I was here in the shift from the demographics, let's say from South Central Los Angeles, where the African Americans were 70% of the population. Now they're 10%, 20%, sometimes 5% less. But that market is still there. But there's been a disconnect between the languages. So immediately, all of those that have an ear to hear and an eye to see can use this LEV AI to open up their businesses to all those people that have been walking by them and had no idea that they were even there. So that's another element that's not discussed so much because it's all about network marketing and solopreneurs. But I'm looking at the additional income streams that have not been touched. That's where I'm going after, Remus.
Yes, yes. And there's so many income streams that each and every person represents. They are an income stream. Every single person that hasn't been touched, you're right. And so I thought about yesterday, hopefully all of y'all will get a chance to meet. He said he's going to be on board with this. William Paul. He's about nonprofits, creating nonprofits. By the way, the Catholic Church is a nonprofit organization. Exalt, what is it? Integrated auxiliary. I'll get the right words, but he's in that lane. And so a lot of nonprofits out here, people don't know about them. So that's what he does. But my point is that to whatever degree that you're going to need that, and people that, okay, good, your business is not about making money. You're here about trying to help the bigger picture, whatever. But NFL is a nonprofit organization. But there's a lot of profits being made in the NFL, but it's a nonprofit organization. The University of Alabama is a nonprofit organization, but they pay their coaches millions of dollars to coach basketball, football, whatever, millions of dollars every year. How does that make sense? Well, it's just what it is. It's a matter of understanding. But the point I'm saying is with this awesome intelligence, we're going to be seeing some dots connect. And we watch it even in the sports world where individuals are getting credit now for bringing everybody to Ohio State to watch them play. But when Reggie Bush brought everybody to watch USC beat up on everybody because of his running back skills and they had a good team. But now if he go buy a car, oh my God, and you're not supposed to make any money. That slavery mindset. Make money off of all these black folks or white folks or whoever, but don't let them make their own money. But they're the reason everybody's showing up. Them days is over. NIL, name, image, likeness. Michael Jordan, you don't control your own basketball championship shot where you won the game, and now the Bulls, you can't do nothing with that footage. Chicago Bulls owns that. The NBA owns that. You can tell your friends to come watch you and hope that they play the video somewhere. But if you take that video and go out and make money off of it, you're gonna be locked up in jail the rest of your life. Back in the day. We're not, oh, the music, you can't play that. Man, I wish somebody would sue somebody because they put Michael Jackson's song in the back of their live presentation. They was at the cookout and they was over there playing whatever Whitney Houston song. Man, you can't get enough lawyers to sue everybody for playing our people's music. We're not in that time anymore, man. Thank God. We came through it and we on the lookout for it. Those that are in that space, they know that. They've been there, man. And they're upset. A lot of them, people that benefit off of it are upset. But it doesn't matter, upset or not, you're not holding the planet down today. Everybody can access this awesome intelligence. And people are starting to wake up to this idea, Andrew, that if you're holding them down over there, I got enough sense to know you're going to come try to hold me down over here one day. And some of your brothers and sisters that are already over here are over here looking at me, trying to hold me down the way you holding them down. Bro, hold up. That's got to cause a certain feeling inside. Like, you can't do that. That's my people over there. No, that ain't connected to you. This is some fools talking today. Oh, that ain't your problem. Why are you worried about over there? But you still sleeping, man. And you still been hitting the head. You don't realize, yeah, this is a pan world movement. Like, if it can happen over there, it could happen right next to you. So go ahead, Andrew. I see your hands up.
Yeah, what I'd like to do, if I may, you hit on a very important point. Well, several very important points. But one I like to address is this over here and over there stuff, right? So by that, what I mean is this: the ones that are over here came from over there.
Come on. That's right. That's right.
So
A few
so
days ago, or a few millennia ago.
so so now that we're all here, let's think about how we can do something to make it work for everybody. So I'm going to share my screen briefly. I know, every part of my presentation has to do with what's on my heart, right? And what I'm
Yeah.
working with. And I appreciate you giving me a chance to share that to your
Yes.
audience, because even though this is Osmond Intelligence and we're doing it, it's your phrase, Osmond Intelligence. And it's you that had the idea of doing this on a daily basis. So, I'm happy to assist, but at the same time, I do want to also, welcome you to the Andrew Networks,
Well, let me tell you,
because
every time I look at my camera, 99% of the time, every day, it'd be two people in here. Awesome, Remus and Andrew, Andrew's Network. So, and quiet as it's kept, I like the truth, right? So the truth sets you free. You put these Zooms together and whatnot, and you bring a lot. So absolutely, man, it's a joint effort. So go ahead and speak on your heart, because that's all about every individual is going to want to do the same thing. So go ahead.
yeah, I'm sharing my screen with you, because this is what I was working on most of the morning. I have to admit, because what happened is that with LEV AI and then providing the multilingual ability to reach these people around the world, again, Remus, I've been using old tech and new tech, and right now, Chat GPT is old tech. LEV AI is the new tech, as far as I'm concerned, right? But here we go. So I was working on this idea of how, from sending money to building wealth, right? Because you have people that come over here to the United States from the Caribbean, from Africa, around the world, but they're still sending money back home because currency values are much higher here in the United States than otherwise. But I had to pose this question: how is it that we can use LEV AI, the entrepreneurial tools and resources? I know we talk a lot about, this can have an impact on the nonprofits, it can have an impact on general businesses, but at the heart of it, this is built for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and network marketers. So to keep that in mind, the whole idea now is to share with the world the fact that these tools can be used from more than just making money. You can also change the idea from sending money to building wealth, and why African and diaspora families must rethink remittances. Traditional remittances pay for immediate needs, but don't create lasting legacies. LEV AI invites both senders and receivers to become members and partners, transforming remittance into reciprocal income and intergenerational wealth. Now, this is just a breakdown for the African continent. where you have multilingual engagement. In Egypt, for example, you're dealing with Arabic, Morocco, Arabic and French. East Africa, Swahili and English. West Africa, Portuguese and French. Reunion French. Southern Africa, English and Zulu. And then, Central Africa, Portuguese and French. Now, I won't run through the content here. I just did this editorial, but I was able to then come back and put together a little emphasis on this intergenerational outlook from a multilingual standpoint. And that's where LEV AI really helped me to nail it down. Look coming up here. I was able to show Remus using best practices and the low risk factor of sharing my content. I was able to pull together these images that our LEV AI helped me to identify. So, there's more than just a simple application of these tools. You can use it with other tools. So I was able to generate this in Hindi for those people from India, Portugal for those people in Arabic. Also we had Zoza, we got Zulu. I was able to transfer and translate to put it through the LEV AI back office to make sure my text was compliant, and then work with Chat GPT to create specific images related to that particular demographic country. So, that's just one example of ways we can. Balls back to you, sir.
I love it. I love it. I was just, as I'm getting ready for this 12:30. No, I love everything you said, man. I know you can translate it. Once you speak it in Zulu, then you can send to Chat GPT and say, what did I just say in English? And it'll let you know that you were right on point. Like, that's what I was trying to say. So learning languages has never been quicker and easier. Repetition. People learn by hearing. Children learn by hearing. They learn to speak long before they learn to write. Think about it. Every child on this planet, you learn Chinese as a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, way before you learn how to write it. But, oh, that's important. But learning how to write is good too, and read it. But the point is,
yeah, Remus.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know you got to get ready for 12:30, and I have to get ready for my 12. So,
Yeah.
We need to wrap it up at your next convenience. I'm going to turn it over to you. Ball's in your court.
Yes, sir. As I get ready for the 12:30, I was just sent the slides that I'll be getting trained on at 12:30 to make sure that I represent this company well. I've been practicing that for a long time. When I spoke at college as a graduation speaker, I had to represent Chaminade University, and me too. I mean, I wasn't going to lie, but being true, and then like being in the nation for 30 years, representing the minister, that ain't my program. I can't just, well, the hell with How to Eat to Live. I didn't write the book. I can't. It's not my authority to just change something. Similarly, by just you and I, Andrew, seeing what we saw in that agreement, when two or more gathered, you and I, in agreement, and saw what we've been seeing, and we've been kicking the tires and learning from it, even before, you remember, Andrew, before we got into LEV AI, we were talking about AI. Shout out to Fred Smith. I just love the truth, man. And it was an understanding of, man, this stuff is here to stay. And you got to learn it some kind of way and figure out and who's doing what. And then in our lab, thanks to the person that brought me in, I was introduced to this, probably early August or something, right? They started this thing August 8th. And that person probably learned about it by August 15th or so. They sent it over to me. I said, okay, it's free. I jumped in. It blows my mind where people I share with today, like, it's free. Someone told me close to me, and then they recently signed up. I got a text while we were on this thing saying they finally signed up. And they were saying, oh, I'm gonna have to miss out on this one. Like about 2-3 weeks ago. I said, well, you're gonna miss out on any time talking to me. because I'm not missing out on this one. Like this, I know me. And when I was playing basketball, bro, I didn't have any intention to go to the NBA, but I had every intention to make sure we won that game at Chaminade, whoever we was playing. And so that's the easiest thing in the world for me, man, to be on a team of people that are serious and on the same mission. Oh, I love that, man. Thank God I never got into them street organizations. I'm sure I'd have been dead by now because either we playing to win or we not. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't care if it's T-ball. We want to win. Flag football. Shoot, come on. We gonna hug afterwards and eat some chips and what mama and them brought some little drinks to drink. But while we playing, come on, man, we trying to win. But my point is now tonight, I look at it as when tonight goes well, it's gonna open up more doors. So we can have the respect, the credibility, the leverage of AI, the leverage of LEV AI on our awesome intelligence team. I'll stand on it. Hey, if opportunity arises where God want me to run over there with Terry, Randy, Blake, y'all know where I'm going. Hey, they gonna open up this place or that place. They doing something. I have no problem with it, if that be God's will. But in the meanwhile, there's people that I have been talking to, like you, Andrew, for decades, that we had a spirit of we want to help them. And me pointing you in the right direction, me letting you know that something exists is a way that I can help you. I don't care who you are. If you're in Alabama, Detroit, New York, I can't just fly over there and deal with whatever, but I can say, hey, click this button, check that out, put that out there, develop your network, build the network for yourself so that you can now ride this energy of the modern time. Elijah Muhammad said these words, I'm gonna get all my people through modern technology. What did he know in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s? What did he know that allowed him, who taught him to say, you're gonna get all your people through modern technology? He might as well have said through awesome intelligence. When people realize to get off of the nonsense and get on what's real and start loving themselves before they love everybody else, and there's nothing unethical about that. And then when they love themselves, they know how to then put everybody else's mask on this airplane that we're riding. Then everything's gonna be much better. But as long as a certain people don't secure themselves, there's no way on earth they can think about helping anybody else. That's why that's a prerequisite. And this right here, awesome intelligence, as we do this, the whole mind of the world is sucking from the good that we do. It's benefiting from the good that we do. And we individually get the benefit. We get to secure ourselves while we help everybody else. Do well while doing good. Now do good while living well. And so that's a beautiful thing. I'm excited, to say the least. I'm excited for everybody. I'm glad those that are watching this at a later time. How you guys doing? Chance to plug in. Avenue himself and take care. And, Andrew, I'm gonna wrap it up on that, man. I pray you have a great day, and I'll see you after today.
All right, brother. One love. And my closing credits are to the Awesome Intelligence team, Mr. Remus Muhammad, Andrew Williams Jr. Again, you can reach us Instagram with Excellence Management for Remus and Ambassador AWJ for me. And we're out. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and effort. Have a wonderful day. Love to all.
Great day, y'all.